Welcome back to the show. Today is both a weird and a very normal day for me, and I want to start this video by talking a little bit about how I feel about this work, about this here, what I'm doing. Man, and even in the forest, they don't leave me alone. Those stupid planes. Why are you going so low? Damn it! There's an airport. It's got to be an airport somewhere. I think it's Domodedovo or something like that. It's gonna be somewhere back there, if I had to guess, or maybe there if it's landed. I don't know. So today, when I finally put on this nice shirt and I grabbed my camera, my phone, and I grabbed my selfie stick and I headed out of the flat, I felt the same thing as I always did when I did my day job. Every time, and when I studied as well, that's like another thing too. Every time I headed out to do one of these things, I felt empty. And allow me to elaborate. I felt like I'm not. It's not something I would want to do out of my own intention. Let me elaborate. Say you want to cook a meal, and you want to cook some very delicious meal. You're walking home after whatever, a long day somewhere out there, or just after a walk, and you smell something tasty. And you come home with this desire to do it. And you go into the kitchen and you start cooking. It's like the entire process of action here is fueled by this desire to eat that food, by the not only just desire for the result, but through the desire for the result, the desire for the process, because it's a very interesting process to cook food as well. And for me, when I was just getting started with like these videos, or with my day job, or with university as well, in the beginning I had that desire, but very quickly I lose it. And not just like completely lose it, but to the point of, how do I put it? It's not that I necessarily don't want to do it, it's that I don't want to think about it. I want my spare time, my free time, to be free from this activity in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to prepare anything for it. I don't want to do any sort of meaningful, how do I put it? Any sort of meaningful activity that would alter how this work is happening. Thus, it is not as simple as when you just get started with it. When you just begin, it's very simple and easy. You want to do it, you think about it all the time, and you keep going based on that drive. But after a while, it becomes different. At least for me. And for me, that process happens really fast. Like, this is just my 6th episode, and already today, as well as a little bit, I noticed it yesterday, but today I was like, damn, already? So, or today I was completely aware when I was going out that I had nothing really. I haven't thought of anything to talk. No, I had nothing to talk about on this show. I didn't prepare anything. I had no cool ideas. If anything, I would link this. How do I call it? Not process. I don't think so. Damn plants. Not even in the forest. I'm left alone. I would link this. My. It's not even an attitude. It's. I guess it's like the way I am. What do you call it? Eh, mm, it's a good. There's a good word. There's a good word that I cannot lend my thought on. Not disposability. My tendency. Oh, I guess it's not what I was looking for, but it'll do. My tendency towards this becoming very bored very fast with the way I described to you how I do my work. I usually there's that man walking all around, and I'm like, I don't want to hit into you one more time. You already passed by me, and I want nothing to do with that. Okay, I think I'll turn around. I was saying, I described my work, I think it was yesterday episode, about how I do research. I get into it and I just explode. I crunch into it day and night. I don't sleep, I don't eat, whatever, into a specific topic, and I just fall my heels over head or head over heels, whatever the phrase is. I fall into it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm done with it, and I may not touch it for like a couple of years completely, like at all. I guess not a couple of years, but like a couple of months, a year. That's kind of how I do things. Uh, it's a character trait which I am currently trying to understand what to do with. Like, this certainly is how I am, but is this something I have any meaningful way of changing? Like, is this. I don't like the word healthy, because the answer to that, well, not really, no. Because it damages all sorts of things. But I don't like the word, because I don't think we should try to view our lives in terms of what is more healthy and what is less healthy for you. Like, I just disagree with the entire premise that we should strive to live a more healthy life. Like, no, why would I care? I don't know. Say, I like tea with sugar, lots of sugar, very much sugar. Probably not healthy, but do I give a fuck? No. Because I want it. I want it. I know it's not healthy. Whatever. So what? Living fucking life is not healthy. If I ever start getting damaged by it, well, yeah. But then again, who cares, right? I'll deal with that. It's like in the My Little Pony. It'll be the problem of a future Spike. And like 10 years later. But I am future Spike now. It's the same kind of thing. Like, I don't think that we should care about being healthy. I think that we should care about doing what is important, like choosing between different things. Here, if I had to choose between not eating so much sugar and like having very dull tea with almost no sugar, and having all this tea with all this nice sugar, I would definitely choose the second one, because for me right now, the second option is the better one, obviously, because I may end up never experiencing any problems with regards to the sugar consumption, like whatever. I don't care. I'll deal with the problem if it arises. And something very different might be jumping off the top of the building. Like if I were to make a decision, should I or should I not jump off the top of the building, my pros and cons would be like this. Pros, I would experience an awesome couple of seconds of flying down really fast and some fucky gravity and wind and shit. Cons, I would die. Thus, for me, the obvious choice would be not jump, because my values are such that I would value life over this experience, and that's just how my will is. There is no reason for that. Some people do suicide because they decide that for them their life is less valuable, I guess, than most of them are like suffering that they feel on that they have in their life, and they decide that, hey, not existing at all, toad's better than the suffering, and they end it. It's their decision, it's their choice. It's not as, I understand that the problem of suicide is not as simple as that. I just briefly touch on it to elaborate, like the final decision that is made. I guess I'm full of shit here though, because with suicide, usually a lot of people who do that are they do it in a moment's notice. Like, it's a very inspired act. You get inspired to do it, and without any real consideration, you just do it. I guess that, yeah. Man. I'm not in the zone today. I feel terrible about this entire thing. Like, I go on this show and I start trying to explain how I don't really value if a thing is healthy or not, and then I go and talk about a suicide which I know nothing about, and which is definitely a very important subject for a lot of people, and I just spit bullshit about it, which is, I'm sorry about that, I guess. But that's kind of how, I guess, a lot of people's minds work. They work on associations and trying to understand something. They draw associations of things they think are like that, regardless of if they are like that. So yeah, everything I said about the suicide, oh, fuck me in the ass for that, okay? That's not something that I wanted to say. That is something that automatically came to my mind as an association, not something that I think I'm right about, and not something I think I should have said in the first place. But for the record, fuck me, here I am. I just do done it, and there you go. Like, that's how mind works, I guess. At least my mind. The best thing I can do here is apologize and say, hey, I was full of shit a couple of minutes ago, but I want to keep it in the video regardless, because I want to be able to see that thing that happened here and understand the context that led to this stupid statement of 5 minutes ago. Okay, returning to the point I was making about how I do research and how I very quickly get bored with doing things that are, I guess, not even repetitive, but I very quickly find myself something new to be interested in. Interested in, yeah, correct. I said the correct word. Uh, I said that I don't really care if such a habit is healthy or not because I don't care about being healthy at all. Like, that's not on the list of my priorities. I guess I should just attribute it to will because that's what I was attributing it to. I don't. Oh, damn. uh, that. Yeah, I'll have to cross that somehow. I guess I'll use the birch. I'm not the most balanciest guy, so I might have some problems. A little branch saved my life from the dirt. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that I would attribute that to will. I don't really care about being healthy or anything like that. What I care about is that I will it, that I want that. I am fully I fully live my life by a statement that reason is but a slave of the passions. Thus, uh, like healthy, whatever, who cares? Being healthy is not one of my passions. It's a secondary passion, yeah, sure. Like, for example, I don't smoke because I think it's not healthy, but it's not a primary passion. So I drink sugar with tea. It's, I guess, as every human being, I'm a mixture of the culture that I was brought up in, and I shouldn't be trying to really reason about why I am that. Like, I can look at the culture and analyze that, but I shouldn't look at myself and try to say, hey, that that I have any specific reasons for any specific choices I would make. I would only say that I inspect some of them if I find them contradicting something else. There is a great cartoon, Daria. It's an MTV level cartoon, and in it has a movie. I think it's called "Is It College Yet?" If I'm not sure, and if I'm correct, I said if I'm not sure. And at the end of the movie, Daria gives a little speech that I think is a very good one. If I'm not mistaken, she says something like, "Stand firm for what you believe in, until and unless logic and experience prove you wrong or prove otherwise." So, for me, the choice to, for example, not care about really being healthy or not care about, what do I call it? About this crunch type of attitude towards work is a choice that I hadn't found a reason to doubt that those things are good. Not like good in an active sense, but good in a passive sense. I like them, yes. Are they doing anything to me that I wouldn't want? No, not really. So they are like passively good. They are not bad, and I like them. So my point is, I was saying that with this kind of crunch attitude to things, perhaps, maybe, I should reconsider that, but at that point, how do I reconsider that. It's like reconsidering something you like. And it's not really hurting me in any meaningful sense for me to be able to dislike it. I guess that's a really good way to put it. I might have reconsidered it because it doesn't really align with things I want to achieve and do, but it's not really hurting me as of yet. It reminds me of Jordan Peterson in one of his videos talking about how becoming an expert at a specific field leads to a more happy existence. I think he talks about how like there's research supporting that people who make a decision and become an expert in one very specific little field, that they are happier, more successful, and thus happier or whatever. And people who just man spread all over the place who just do all sorts of shit and try out random things and don't really get good at any specific thing, that they are like less happy or whatever. And I remember watching that and I was like, not really. Maybe for some people, yeah, but not for me, no. Like, if such a connection would exist, it wouldn't be a cause and effect. It would be at least through a proxy effect. So, for example, say I am not very good at any specific one thing. I started vlogging and then it's 6th episode and I'm already bummed out about it. And I try and find something else. The fact of not being really good at anything itself, at least for me, doesn't really bother me. Like, I don't really care. Why would I care about being good at anything? I'm good at the best day of existing, you know? I don't spec into any specific... Like in Skyrim, say, okay, I can give you this analogy. Skyrim. If you played Skyrim, you know that there are skill trees. And my character, I always put random perks in random trees. I don't give a shit. Like, if I think some perk is cool, I read them. And I think that's cool, or I just found a gazillion potion ingredients, and I'm like, oh, whatever, I'll just level up some potion making, whatever. And my character always ends up being this weak-ass, pathetic piece of shit because he's not a pro at anything. He cannot really assassinate, he cannot fight face to face, like nothing. Light armor, no. Heavy armor, no. But frankly, I don't care. I don't give a fuck if it takes me a gazillion tries to beat a dungeon. It doesn't bother me that I cannot one-shot a dude from behind in Skyrim and run fast through the dungeon. What I care about is the experience of doing all these things. I will have a bow, I will have daggers, I will have a giant hammer that I would take out and smash a person's skull. Usually I carry around a bow, dual wielding like some sort of epic swords, and a greatsword. And I have these like 3 weapons, and I use them whenever I feel like it. I like all of them, and I switch between them not because I think they're better for this dungeon or something like that, just because I like them. I wanna dual wield. Okay, fine. I'll take out the dual swords. I want a great sword. Great. I'll just use that. I changed the road in the forest. I hope no spider gets in my face, because that'll be inconvenient. So the same kind of thing applies to life. Like, no, I don't really care that I'm not really great at one specific thing. I see other people great at their things, and like, oh, good for you. Not something that I care about, though. There's like this weird hill across the forest, and I don't quite understand why it's here. While I was walking, I was thinking about what kind of home I would build in the forest if I were to build one. And I thought about that. I looked at this hill and I thought, hey, under this hill there could be an epic giant underground burrow. You just have to dig it out and figure out how to keep all the dirt from falling on top of your head. Which I guess is not that hard, especially today. You can just find metal scrap and pile it on top of it. Whatever. So there can be people living underneath me, or some fairy tale creatures. You know, when I go for walks with kids, I always like inventing like random fairy tale creatures everywhere, and we talk about how these creatures live, what are their habits, and we have an entire little world of like random creatures. Some invented, some stolen from like tales that we read together. A lot of them inspired by Ronia, the what do you call it in English? I don't know what the tale actually is in English. I never read it in English. No, not the burglar. Who is Robin the outlaw? Robin Hood is the outlaw. Ronia the outlaw's daughter, I guess that's a good one. That's Astrid Lindgren tale. Ronia, I guess. Just look it up. Astrid Lindgren, Ronia. It's a very good one. A lot of the creatures are inspired by that. So continuing my point is, I don't really care that I'm not good at anything. Just like I don't care in Skyrim, that my character kind of sucks at everything. My character doesn't suck at experience in Skyrim. That's what it doesn't suck at, as well as me here. I don't suck at experience in life, and I try all sorts of different things. There are things that I don't try, that I wouldn't try, because I would consider them, for whatever reason, not worthy of a trial. Like, say, for example, drugs. I don't think I'll ever try that. Or smoking. I might try alcohol at some point in time, but for now, it's like, I don't know. The pros kind of outweigh the cons. I don't see any reason why I would. Like, there is nothing about it that would make me like, hey, I want to try it. As I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that Jordan Peterson says that there is this connection between not being good at anything and not being happy, and I would have to say that it's not a linear connection. It's not immediate. It's not that you are not happy because you are not good at anything. If it exists, it's a proxy connection at best. So you're not good at anything, therefore you didn't do what you might have wanted to do. Like, here is where life is different from Skyrim. In Skyrim, I get a bazillion attempts at a dungeon. If I die, I'll respawn and try it again, and try it again, and try it again. Get past one monster, I quick save, and I try the next one, the next one, the next one. And I get a gazillion tries. Life is different. You don't get a second chance. You don't really have this kind of opportunity to put in the work again and again. With life, you are forced to either do or not do. Like, there is no second chances here. You either did something great or you didn't. And if you wanted to do something great, well, that's I can only say that I'm sorry for you. Fuck you. And I'm sorry for myself. And fuck me as well. Because, like, for example, I wanted to do cool YouTube videos, but then what if I ended up not doing them? Because I got bored of the entire thing. Like, looking back at how my original YouTube career ended, it ended with two things. Like, my original video series, Minecraft, ended because I got into League of Legends, and my gaming diet would change from like 90% Minecraft to like 80% League of Legends, and my Minecraft just became very sparse, and thus my YouTube channel kind of migrated to League of Legends content. But as I played the game, I quickly realized that I suck at it. Well, because I was just getting started. I still suck at it, but I sucked even more. I guess I don't know if I sucked more, but I sucked at it. And I sucked at its understanding as well. And the second thing is, if I want to not suck at it, I cannot really make educational content because I would be tryharding. And while tryharding, I could not be entertaining because I would constantly be like thinking and not really providing any sort of insightful commentary other than, okay, ult here, you know. I noticed that, and for whatever reason, I decided that I wanted to be good at League of Legends. And not, like, I decided to be good at League, not to do the videos of it, despite me being shitty. Because the videos themselves and my commentary on it, with my improved understanding of the game, the videos themselves were shit. They were terrible because I didn't understand what I was talking about. I was just having fun, which is, I mean, it's cool and all, but it's not content that I myself would enjoy. Like, for example, if we are talking my Minecraft videos, that is content that I myself like. I enjoy watching them. That's why they're still on my channel. I didn't take them down because I think that's cool content. It's funny, I'm very young and I'm very stupid, but regardless of that, I like those videos. They provide funny reactions to things that happen to me, and I think that's good. I enjoy it. Whereas with League of Legends, in Minecraft there is no correct reaction. You cannot go wrong by shouting, "Ah, creeper, okay, he gonna do something that he actually ain't gonna do, I don't know, whatever." You cannot be a bad Minecraft player because the game is not about being good. it's just about playing it. No, like, it doesn't matter if you're good. There is, of course, a level. Like, I don't know, if you're a toddler, if you're just given controls, I doubt that anybody would find that kind of video content entertaining. But still, like, you can be terrible at Minecraft and still be a cool, entertaining dude. Like, I enjoy my old content. I like it. Sometimes I rewatch it. I like take a video and I watch it and I'm like, hell yeah. And I get inspired to do YouTube again. and I look back at all that content. I'm like, that's some cool, funny content. That's some things that I do like. Whereas with League of Legends, I just didn't like it. I thought it was shit even then. Now looking back at it, I see it is even more shit, because not only I'm bad at the game, I'm also bad at YouTube, and bad at commentary, and terrible at English, and it doesn't matter. Like, it's normal. But at the time, I noticed that the videos were shit, so I stopped making them. And here is a interesting thing that happened. I started playing League of Legends to be not shit at it, and I preferred that over the option of maybe doing a different game, like, for example, doing Minecraft, the content which I liked, because at the time I liked League of Legends. I remember distinctly I enjoyed playing it very much. It was a cool game, but it took away my YouTube from me, and I had a bad kind of conscience about it. conscious. I didn't feel good about it, but it didn't really bother me. It was kind of a nagging thought in the back of my mind, like, you probably won't be a pro gamer. Like, that's very unlikely, even though young stupid me wanted to be a pro gamer. But I really enjoyed playing League of Legends, and thus I kind of stopped doing YouTube. Quite quickly, over the course of like a couple of months, I realized that I don't have, what do you call it? Like, my motor skills probably won't even remotely allow me to be any sort of good at any sort of real game. Like in StarCraft, I just don't micro. I don't do it. I don't care. Micro 0, because I am not good at it, and not like, if I practiced, maybe I could get a little bit better at it, but I'm terrible at muscle control. Like, I don't really have control over which buttons I press. That's why, for example, I type very slowly, because my fingers just go nuts. They type random buttons, and I have to backspace, I have to delete, I have to change the words. Like, I'm terrible at this. I am just not good at this kind of style of work. For whatever reason, I don't know, maybe it's like a condition or something. Frankly, I don't give a crap. So I realized that, but then I went to university and I had other things to do, and I didn't really do Minecraft or YouTube at all. I did a little bit, but I had a new standard. I looked at my Minecraft content and I thought, definitely you can do better than that. Okay, I'm just trying to remember the way, because I went off the beaten path and now I don't know exactly where I'm heading to, and it's the forest. So it's not something you can just like wander around mindlessly, and I guess I can, because it's within a city. I can hear cars that way, so if I just go that way, I'll find my way out eventually. I'm actually kind of scared walking in this forest like that, and I'm afraid of people. I'm afraid of some social undesirables like myself, but with the more sinister motives, enjoying this place because there are no other people. But whereas myself, I am peaceful, I am a simple guy. Others who might enjoy this place might not be because, social outcasts, not always nice like me. Some of them are pretty nasty people, and that's why they are outcast. Like, I kind of outcast myself. Okay, what was I talking about? Yeah, I said I was explaining why my original YouTube channel kind of ended, and how it only now continues, and that this is all tied with how my character is, and that is all tied with what I think about being a pro at anything, and what I think about the Jordan Peterson idea of if you're not great at anything, you won't be a happy guy, a happy person, I guess. However, as Jordan Peterson, he's patriarchal as fuck, so I guess you can say a happy guy. I hope you wouldn't mind, JP. So, and I was disagreeing with that it's not direct, it's proxied. Like, some people might value social status, and if they ain't good at anything, they won't get any social status, and thus this not being great at anything would make them unhappy through a proxy cause. Or say, I might value producing some piece of content that I would be proud of, that I would like. Oh, my neck. Why though? Why now? This suddenly decided to hurt like hell. And I said that, well, not really. For me, not being able to produce this kind of cool content or a cool piece of media, it definitely makes me less happy with myself. But at the second, on the other hand, when I consider the choices that went into this, I'm like, okay, overall, I always made the choice that was right for me. And the fact that that I didn't do whatever I wanted myself to accomplish, I didn't accomplish whatever I wanted myself to accomplish. It's like, yeah, but I did a whole bunch of other things that other people didn't do. So I weigh these potential me's, and I look at them and I say, no, I still would choose, if I'm placed back in that situation, I still would choose the second me, the one that actually exists right now. Because I look at all those decisions and I realize why I made them, what made me make them. And I realize that I'm like, yeah, I know. It's life. So I don't really regret anything. It's a funny quote I always throw back at other people who talk to me about how they regret shit. I'm like, well, I don't regret it. I don't quite understand the concept. You made those choices. You were there. How can you really regret that? I think that when we talk about regretting something, there is a good and valid way to talk about, and a not so good, not so valid way. I need to take a little sit, which I'm doing right now. So a good and a valid way to talk about regret is the world at the moment, say, regret some decision. The world at the moment of the decision was a shittier place than I might have wanted it to be. That, I think, is a valid case. Like, for example, I might regret the decisions I made, and I talked about it briefly, how I viewed relationship and the decisions that came from that view. But I don't regret it in a sense that I would want to make a different decision. Because at that point in time, in this state of world that I was in, that was the best decision. I don't place, like, regret doesn't burn me in a sense of I don't want to go back in time and try to I guess it's not correct. I want to go back in time and try to fix it, but a different way. Like, I don't think that I have any blame in that. I don't think that I am, I don't know, not a good guy or whatever. And I'm such a nice guy. It's a nice guy. Come on, girl, I'm a nice guy. Yeah. Yeah, Google, YouTube, nice guys, Reddit, the cool YouTubers making cool videos. So, I regret the state of the world that I was put in to make those decisions. Like, the misunderstandings that I was I guess I shouldn't like say victim of. It's more like that I was under the control of. I misunderstood how the world worked, and that brought me to making some choices that I would now regret, but the regret is not targeted at me as making like a wrong choice. The regret is targeted at the state of the world that put those misunderstandings in me in the first place. Thus, for example, I value education. Thus, I want to teach other people and not allow whatever happened to me to happen to them. I want to improve the state of the world in such a way that which the things that happened to me would not happen to others. That is what for me regret is. I guess there is also like PTSD is something that needs to be talked about with the concept of regret, but I don't feel like I'm qualified to really talk about it because I don't know if I really have it. From my past experiences, because I don't quite understand the entire concept. Maybe someday I'll look into it and figure out if what I have is PTSD or not, but it's a different thing. It's definitely something different. So I don't really have regret, as I said, in terms of like any decisions that I made, the decisions that I'm not really good at any specific thing. I guess I'm pretty good at programming, just because I did a university course in it, and that kind of, and my style of crunchy research kind of forces you to be good at something. If you are forced to do that kind of very crunchy, very uh, thorough, very, I don't know, all-encompassing research into subjects, that you kind of forced into being good at it. But for me, being good at programming gave me really nothing. It's not part of my identity or anything. It's just like something cool that I might show off in a proper company. If I made a program like, yeah, hey you, do you know how asynchron if something is asynchronous, what is the noun for that? Asynchronicity? I guess. Asynchros. No, that doesn't sound right. Being asynchronous functions work in JavaScript, eh? Do you know how that work? And they'll be like, oh no. Okay, let me tell you all about it. Or like, do you know how compiler optimization work in C? And they're like, oh no. I'm like, oh, okay, let me tell you all about it. Even though I don't really have any field experience with that. I just got my 4 years and my bachelor's degree. But I enjoy, showing off my giant programmer dick all over the place. No, not really, but for people who are interested, I am very open to talk and try to explain to them how things work. And I hope that people like it because they asked for it. At least that's the kind of person I am. I'm always interested in other people and what their field of competency is. Like, I had this medical guy in my military who I served with, who was a doctor, like a proper doctor, and I would continuously bother him about how this works, how that works, how medicine works, how anything. Just explain to me everything. Explain to me what you know. Give me your knowledge. Even though I don't want to be a doctor, I don't care, but I want to know things, and that's kind of how I am. Not an expert, but a guy who's interested in random shit. So to conclude, I don't think Jordan Peterson is right that not being good at any specific, like not having an area of expertise, makes people unhappy. It might be one of the causes that goes into people's feeling of unhappiness, but even then, it is most likely a proxy. Like I said, a status or being able to produce something that you would be proud of, something like that. But by itself, I don't think so. So I don't think he's correct. Correlation here, I don't think implies causation. It might imply some level of causation, but I don't think, not really. Like, there are other ways to explain it, and again, I would say that just status, like for a lot of people, status, and not just status, but economic freedom, I guess, is another thing. As like that's the one I would name as the most important here. Like, if you're really good at something, you can sell it. And if you can sell it, you can get money. And if you can get money, you can get paid. And if you can get paid, you can get rich. And if you can get rich, or at least like pay for your shit, not eat bread and fucking potatoes every day like me. But I don't really care. Like, I want to eat better food, but at the same time, like, yeah, whatever. I won't go and try to do some boring job just to eat some nice food. Fuck that. Okay. So, to conclude, What did I start with? Oh yeah, I started with me talking about how this all gets boring. And it does. It does. But when I get into it, I still enjoy it. And I like it. So perhaps it's not as simple as me getting bored at the beginning and not doing it anymore. It's more complicated than that. It's me being into it at the beginning and then getting bored by the idea of it, but actually enjoying doing it. Maybe. I don't know. Like, I enjoyed my little rant here. And I look at the time and it's been 50 freaking 5 freaking minutes. Like, duh. Recently I thought about how I should shorten my videos because of like they're 40 to an hour, over an hour, and I'm like, damn, those are some long fucking videos. And here I am continuing to ramble after I noticed that my video is already too long by what I think I should be aiming for. Yeah. Perhaps everything is more complex than it seems. And today I had a great look at my past that I hope kind of eliminates a little bit my future, but not too much. I don't like certainty. I hate certainty. So yeah, I guess that's it for today. I really enjoyed our today little rant, despite the fact that I didn't like it at the beginning. Like, it was hard to start, but as always, once you get started, it's very easy to just ride the flow. And I really like this forest. Maybe I'll film here more. It's also pretty close to my house. It's the same forest that had the railroad tracks. The railroad tracks are kind of over there, very far away. And I'm kind of deep in the forest. There's not a lot of people, but there's some people here because it's still a city, you know? They go here for random walks. I guess that is it. I'm done. For today, at least. And for today, thank you for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.